About a month ago, I did a video on a project called Tezos Domains, and I explained to you why I was extremely bullish on this project long term and why I was investing in their IDO. I also told you about a number of different Tezos domain names that I personally owned and showed you how to do that. But today's video, I want to talk about Tezos in particular because the Tezos ecosystem is one of the largest in the entire crypto space, and I am extremely bullish on this project. This is something that I've invested in for a long time now, as it is a top crypto by market cap, and there's been a number of major updates to their ecosystem that have happened over the last few weeks that we need to talk about. And if you aren't following them already on Twitter, this is where I find most of the information about them. So there's a lot of exciting stuff happening with the Tezos ecosystem, particularly on the technology side. So some of the big things that have happened and are going to be shipped in the next month or so, making it an extremely exciting project to look at. And these are things that I'm going to talk about and things that you need to be keeping an eye out for into the next bull market, because right now there's a lot of money in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a lot of the blue chip cryptos. But as soon as we start to see Bitcoin and Ethereum start to rally a bit more, we see Bitcoin break above $40,000 per coin, I'm expecting, this major altcoin season to happen, and that is where the real money is made and where I expect to see projects like Tezos really take off. So there's been various Tezos protocol developer teams like Nomadic Labs, Trilitech, Marigold, Oxhead, Alpha, Functori, Tarades, and a number of more that have been working under the radar to get a lot of these major updates done. You can see a lot of these details that have been announced with protocol upgrades and just another, major things that have happened over the last few months. And something that stands out in particular in terms of the technology updates is with smart rollups. So one of the challenges historically with layer one cryptos has been the ability to scale. And Tezos is solving this big problem with smart rollups. So moving some of the computational processes off chain while maintaining the robust security and decentralization of the main chain. This is something that Tezos is known for. So this approach ultimately allows for faster transaction processing and reduce the overall cost while still benefiting from Tezos' robust security and decentralization features. So this is something that you need to be aware of because this differentiates Tezos from a lot of the other layer one cryptos. And you guys know I'm extremely bullish on, let's say, Cardano and Solana and Ethereum, but this is something that Tezos does that is extremely unique and extremely different and something that makes me bullish on this project for the next bull run. This is why it's one of my top layer one cryptos for the next bull run. And I addressed this a little bit in the last video I did on Tezos domains, but I just wanted to explain it a bit more. In addition to this, in addition to smart rollups, another major technology update for Tezos ecosystem is the 1 million transactions per second. So 1 million TPS. So earlier this year, Tezos announced that, and they actually demoed 1 million transactions per second at TezDev 2023. They talked all about this when Emma and Thomas Layton were engineers for the project, and they, with protocol developer teams, did this 1 million transaction demo, which you could see right here. And this is something that demonstrated the long-term scalability of Tezos, which again is extremely important for any layer one cryptos. Need to have that scalability aspect long-term, where you know that if millions of people are on the blockchain transacting, it's not going to break down. It's not going to have issues. That's like a problem that other layer one cryptos like Solana have had. They've had a lot of outages because they simply can't handle scaling higher. Third major one is EVM rollups and the Ether link. So Tezos blockchain now has an EVM compatibility with a L2 rollup called Etherlink. This is something that's very important because ultimately it allows Tezos to execute Ethereum smart contracts and benefit from Ethereum's vast ecosystem, which is a huge boost to scalability and interoperability. And with this, Etherlink's rollup approach enables faster and more cost-effective transactions for a stronger DeFi and NFT ecosystem. This is something that is long-term crucial for any layer one blockchain, is like obviously EVM compatibility, because Ethereum is the largest L1 crypto in terms of market cap, in terms of TVL, and having this easy connection to it makes and positions Tezos in a really good position long term. Next one, the fourth major technology update, is DAL and DEC. And ultimately, this stands for Data Availability Committee, DAC, which is a solution designed to enhance the transaction throughput of Tezos smart rollups, ultimately by storing transaction data off-chain. This is something that's really important because instead of retrieving data from Tezos blocks, Rollup nodes access transaction payloads from DAC members, bypassing Tezos' block size limitations, and DAC is also designed to help boost the transactional throughput of smart Rollup. Ultimately, this helps increase efficiency and speed long-term, and this is something that you want to see in a layer 1 blockchain. Is you don't need to get caught up in all the technical aspects of this and how it works. That's not really important to me or to a lot of you guys who are investing. More importantly, what this does with DAL and DAC, it makes it much more efficient, much faster, and whenever you're processing transactions on a blockchain, that's exactly what you want to see. So a data availability layer, which is the DAL, this stores data, provides guarantees about its availability when relying on layer 1 consensus, and bakers continuously monitor the DAL and attest on layer 1 whether a given space of data is available on the DAL. Both of these ultimately help solve the challenge of having Tezos protocol guarantee availability of rollup transaction data without storing it in layer 1 blocks. Again, they go into all this detail on their website in the white paper. You can see it in countless articles, but more importantly, this just helps with efficiency, scalability, and speed long-term, which is exactly what you want to see. Moving forward, there's a few other updates in terms of partnerships and in terms of usage. So recently, Tezos has had a number of major announcements in terms of partnerships with, let's say, like sports partnerships with F1 and Premier League. So on their sports partnership side of the business, they've had major announcements. Tezos has teamed up with two of the biggest brands in the sports area, with Manchester United from the Premier League and with McLaren Racing Team. With both of these have announced their Web3 journeys and have made major announcements, and having partnered with Tezos with some of the biggest names in racing and in soccer, this is a huge step forward for not only crypto, but also for sports, seeing this crossover between Web3 and sports. You can see that Manchester United has teamed up with Tezos for their inaugural digital collectibles, where they offer fans a free collectible for each home game, and collecting all unlocks chances to win match tickets, VIP access, signed kits, live game experiences, and more. And if you're looking in terms of the racing side with McLaren, ultimately there's McLaren Digital Collectibles, where Tezos and McLaren Racing joins forces for a multi-year partnership in Formula One and esports. Fans can get free digital collectibles for each race weekend in the 2023-2024 season with unique artwork depicting the track. You can see all this information on the announcements, and I'll link those down below so you can see those as well. So that's in terms of the physical. In terms of esports, Team Vitality and Tezos have announced a major partnership as well. And Tezos, while it's known for its, scalability, efficiency, long-term, with Team Vitality, which is esports, Tezos entered the esports sector by teaming up with Europe's top esport organization, Team Vitality. So from 2022 to 2024, they're going to have this major partnership. And this is going to help, link esports with blockchain long-term. So these are things that are really, really exciting. And on top of these major sport partnerships, if you're looking at let's say museum partnerships and NFTs, you could see that in September of this year, Musée d'Orsay in Paris announced a year-old partnership to use the blockchain's robust Web3 art and culture ecosystem to further their goals. This is just another, top tier brand that has partnered with the Tezos blockchain. So ultimately, I'm extremely bullish on Tezos long term. You can see all the information about its token and how it's done very well over, the past year in 2023. It's a lot of excitement there, and just overall, the token is in a good position long term and positioned very well for the next bull market.